Increasing Food Access in Elgin Area Schools. A presentation by Marie Chu, Julie Durkin, Joseph Dutcher, Thomas Fensky, James Fleshman, Gabrielle Friend, and Ashley Mueller. Our proposal. We will help to combat the issue of equal access within our own Elgin community by working with local food banks, the Northern Illinois Food Bank, and schools to help provide healthy and nutritious food to children in our school systems. We will do this by starting a food distribution program at a local elementary school. We will work with free and reduced lunch programs to provide healthy foods to kids, both in the school day and in take-home packages.
Throughout this process, like stated in our group's proposal, we have focused on increasing the equality and quality of food for the community through work with various organizations. We chose this because this seemed to be the issue we were all the most passionate about based on our discussion about our individual projects. We began by researching the problems of poverty and how that has affected food distribution locally. With the research we all have discovered while working on this project, we were able to reach out to specific schools in Elgin, such as Coleman Elementary and Huff Elementary. Implementing a free and reduced lunch program seemed to be our best approach to decrease the food distribution issue in Elgin. The slides and visuals throughout this presentation reveal the approaches we took and our findings to make this system more possible and accessible.
There is an issue with equal access within our own Elgin community. Our job is to outline the steps it takes to minimize the issue at hand. The problem with our society today is that we don't take care of our food, land, or our people. Poverty is one of the bigger issues that comes from food waste and food loss by humans every day. By starting a food distribution program in our local area, we can help prevent the waste and loss of these foods, which will then help us nurture those aspects that we lack the most. We will work with 2 schools that the majority of their students come from low-income families. These are just 2 of many schools in Elgin, but our goal is to start with 1 or 2 and eventually branch our organization to other schools even outside of our Elgin community. The first one we will introduce is Coleman Elementary, which has a total of 726 students from kindergarten through 6th grade as of 2018, and about 81% of its students come from low-income families. You can see because of that, the majority of their students are eligible for free lunch. Same goes for the second school we will introduce, Huff Elementary, which has a total of 635 students preschool through 6th grade as of 2018, and about 91% of its students come from low-income families. So that means about 8% of its students do not come from these low-income families. That is almost the entire school. The school system is the perfect opportunity to jumpstart a project like this, especially with the students that need it the most, the ones that come from these low-income families that cannot always provide food needed for their children and families. The Elgin District finances of these schools is very important to mention because it allows us to see what we are up against with finances in the district. The adequacy target is $540,134,598. It is the minimum amount that is required to provide a high-quality education. What these schools actually are receiving is $296,591,009. These final resources are the combination of local capacity target, corporate personal property replacement tax revenue, and base funding minimum amounts. As you can see, the district financial capacity is meeting expectations by 55%, which is a little more than halfway. Each district is placed under a tier, which indicates access to additional funding. Tier 1 districts receive 99% of additional funds appropriated for this purpose by the General Assembly, and these 2 schools are considered Tier 1. We can use that to our advantage to get extra funding that will help upstart our lunch programs for the future.
Free and reduced lunches are provided by the National School Lunch Program. This is a federally assisted meal program operating in both public and nonprofit private schools and also residential child care institutions. It provides nutritionally balanced, low cost, or free lunches to children each school day. This program was established under the National School Lunch Act, which was signed by President Harry Truman in 1946. Thanks to the generous help, numerous children get the proper food and nutrition they need each day. We would seek to come alongside this already existing program to help local schools in Elgin give children more food. While many are helped, not everyone in need qualifies for this program, as will be shown on the next slide. Shown here is the National School Lunch Program income guidelines for the next school year. The calculations here are based on annual income, which is then divided by the number of times the family receives a paycheck. The calculations shown show exactly what you would have to make monthly, twice a month, every 2 weeks, or weekly, depending on your pay schedule. The number of children in a family also affects the income limit. So if someone was struggling and right on the border, a little bit over the limit, they would not receive reduced meals or free meals. This is where we could step in and help students at these schools.
We will seek funding for our program through two primary avenues. First of all, we will seek financial funding through fostering charitable gifts from local corporations that have a stake in serving the community. Second of all, we'll seek supplies and transportation of those supplies through existing Northern Illinois Food Bank and through developing partnerships with local grocery stores such as Jewel Osco, Aldi, and Butera for food donations. Corporate funding will be the primary funding for our staff that organize the food distribution and then communicate it with the community. It will also pay for our office space in Elgin. Now, this is only going to be the funding for, 2 to 3 staff and a modest office space in a corporate park in Elgin. But we do need to have something to fund them, and so gifts from donors will be the primary way that we're able to fund those efforts. We will seek recurring financial gifts from corporate headquarters in the greater Elgin and Kane County area. And we do plan to register as a 501c3 to allow us to offer a tax write-off for donations given to our nonprofit. We will also secure food donations through partnerships with local grocery stores, requesting their food waste for our distribution programs. Oftentimes, at large grocery stores like Jewel Osco, Aldi, Butera, or Walmart, food is still good past the expiration date, and if these stores plan to throw the food away, could go to serve the community. Northern Illinois Food Bank is another potential partner for providing us with take-home food for kids. They already do that sort of thing, but we would be able to partner with them particularly for healthy options.
Our main goal for this project is to partner with local food banks and local businesses to help not only provide equal access to food in Elgin schools, but also to focus on making sure that the foods that are provided are nutritious. Educating people and getting the community involved is an important part of our project. By making people aware of how important nutrition is for students, as well as helping others to understand that we need to improve the food given to children, we can begin to change these programs for the better. At schools like Coleman Elementary and Huff Elementary in Elgin, a majority of their students participate in free and reduced lunch programs. While there are programs provided in the district cannot fund more nutritious programs on its own. We will begin to use local resources to offset this problem. We will both fundraise and partner with the Northern Illinois Food Bank as well as any local stores in the area. By partnering with local grocery stores, we can work to provide nutritious foods as well as minimize any food waste. We will have a staff that is paid through corporate funding that helps us deliver the food to schools and hand it out to children. In conclusion, this is an incredibly important change that needs to be made in all schools. Nutrition is a crucial part of a children's ability to learn as well as their growth and development. All students need to have access to healthy foods, including those participating in free and reduced lunch programs.